Blake, I like that Blake seems to be the character that's experimented the most, I feel, out of Team Ruby. Like they
Yeah,
take like
she's
Yang you see a lot of times as being like this really muscle bound person and whatnot, and Ruby and Weiss really don't vary too much from the show art wise.
yeah,
And it's like Blake, it's like, what can we do to Blake?
yeah. What kind of dark past can we bring up?
Like what do we do? Scars? Let's go tattoos. Let's make her black. Let's make her. It's just like how many different variations from canon Blake can we do? I love
Yeah,
Blake.
exactly. Because she's just she's got so much. She's very interesting for backstory and stuff.
She's got arguably the most potential in terms of backstory out of Team Ruby,
Yeah,
but I say arguably because you can really make a strong case for any of them.
yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I just want to see more backstory. Period. All right.
Me too. I want all the backstory. I need to hear all of it.
I'm just thinking of that guy. I wonder if anybody's gonna figure out the Sprint ice cream bar thing. Like I wonder.
I hope they do. When you showed me it, I was like, oh my god, this is perfect.
I was just like I was looking up like running. I looked up like running, sprinting, and dashing ice cream, and I didn't really find anything like that was that good. And then I looked up sprinting ice cream, and that came up, and I'm like, well, this is fantastic. Like this is the best thing that I'm gonna find.
And I have never seen that before.
No,
Like I've never searched it up.
You know the story behind that?
What?
Apparently, Sprint released a line of ice cream bars for whatever reason. Like Sprint, like I don't know if they released it or they advertised or they like sponsored them or whatever. But apparently they
God.
like somehow directly tied into a bunch of ice cream bars. And so somebody like made that as a joke, like coming off of that. They were like, "Here, take these," and it's just like, and I just saw that, and I'm like, "What the hell?" And I had to look it up further.
Oh my
The
god,
most research I've ever done for this show.
that was wonderful. Like I loved it. I loved it.
Puns. It's really kind of a pun.
This
And I don't normally like puns, but I'm willing to make an exception in this case because that was fantastic.
is a good one. Yeah.
All right. I feel as though like now that you said that, I'm like you must be a Disney nut. Like you must be one of those people that are really big into Disney.
I really do. Like I didn't actually used to, but just recently in the past couple years, I'm like I'm
Then I
so
got
in love
older.
with the style. Yeah, then I got older, and I'm so in love with the style now, and just everything about it, and the stories, and so I guess a lot of my style now influences from it.
So
I love
Frozen,
it.
right?
Frozen too. I love Frozen. I know a lot of people are kind of ooh about it, but I mean, I like it.
Yeah, I liked it. I don't think it was
yeah.
like it was. I mean, I agree with I think I saw this like once. It was like it's not like groundbreaking, and it's not like the most
Yeah.
amazing movie ever, but it was a good movie. It was a pretty movie. Like that was the biggest thing that stuck with me.
Yeah.
I'm like, this movie's gorgeous.
Yeah, it was just a nice little movie. I actually liked it. I mean, so.
I also love everybody's like Olaf served no purpose in the movie. I'm like he was the best character. I don't give a shit if he didn't do anything progressive.
he had really funny parts. I mean,
Josh,
I mean, I get it. Like, I get it. He's just like a little stupid, but I like
he's the
him.
mascot.
Yeah,
Was the way that it was phrased.
he's what the kids like.
I
The
mean,
kids like him.
Josh Gad did a fantastic job. I don't really care. It was just
Yeah.
every scene he was in was funny, so that's all I really wanted.
Yeah, different opinions.
Well, and for those saying he didn't do anything progressive, he got Anna out of the room at the very end.
That's true.
So that's plus
true.
one.
He did. Well, he wasn't that useless.
No, he wasn't that useless. I mean, it was
Not
just kind of like
really.
he was just kind of there for most of the movie.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, he did something useful, and it's like, I don't even care. I'm just happy. Olaf, I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah.
Not melted.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty great. Also, difference in art styles. I'd like to point out, I had on Adamant Red, right? Very, that's much more like, I guess epic would be the word that I'd associate with it. Much more like a grand, much larger art style. Kind of like, I'm not going to say realistic, not more realistic, but like, English is a really hard language when you don't know what you're talking about exactly.
It is.
But it's just like you have that art style, and then now I have you on with like you have a much cutesier art style. That's the way that I would describe it. Much more,
Adorable.
yeah, your art is adorable, and I love it. It's just kind of like, but that's the contrast right there. Like one's not right, one's not more right than the
Yeah,
other. It's
there's
just
not one good or bad. It's just different.
they're
They're
polar
different.
opposites
Yeah.
on so many different levels. I came across one of my favorite pieces, which is just the Blake in a box, in a Christmas box, and then Weiss winds up with her in it.
I actually got a submission of someone told me there was like a Ruby discussion group, and someone actually took the part with Blake in the box, and they like edited it to make it look like a race car, and they had her and they had it photoshopped on like a racetrack with a lot of other cars, and she was just zooming with him. It made me laugh so much.
That is beautiful.
Like I would have never thought of that. That was brilliant.
That's genius. I might go searching for that later. This is an interesting question, actually. This is a really interesting question that I forgot to write down who asked it.
Uh-oh.
I am the consummate professional. I think that is as today. This is a really unusual day for me. I don't know what's...
We gotta keep it cool and casual. Cool and casual.
Cool and casual. Every other interview that I've done, though, I've never had the numbering issue. I've never left questions in from another interview on accident. I've never accidentally forgotten to write down the name of the person who asked the interview. I don't know what's wrong with me today.
This is the most casual interview ever.
The most casual interview ever, so much so that the host forgot it was an interview. I was like, just like sitting here, I was like waiting for you to come online on Skype too. I'm like, okay, I'm going to send out the reminder, and because sometimes people forget, so I send out a reminder, and it's just, all right, I'm going to do this, and then it like comes in here, I'm like, oh wow, apparently I was the one that needed the reminder that there was an interview today. Whoops. I just noticed on your Skype icon, Blake in the background. I just noticed that Hot is right next to her.
It was drawn by Nox. I think that Noxy Prep, I think, the URL.
I don't know. It just made me laugh. I didn't even realize that Blake was in the background.
Yeah,
well, I realized she was in the background. I didn't realize that Hot was right next to her. I was like...
I did add that in. So
Did you add that in?
I added it in. Nox sent me a picture of White with sunglasses, and I was like, you know what? Let's get the Blake.
Did you add in hashtag swag too?
Yes. No. Actually, that was enough.
Okay.
I just added the Blake.
And he will make you miserable if you want to sleep with him in the same room.
He's actually very quiet at night.
Really?
So no problem there. Yeah. No.
God,
yeah.
I've never owned a bird personally, but I had a friend that did once, and I slept over at their house, and the bird was in their room, and I just remember not being able to sleep for the longest time because just every 5 seconds.
Oh my God.
I was just like, I'm going to kill this bird.
Yeah, I know. He gets so loud sometimes. Even when I'm talking to people on Skype, like they'll be like, "Your bird is really loud." And I was like, "I know."
What's the name of your bird again?
My bird, his name is. I call him Pen.
Okay.
Just Pen, but usually I'll just call him Buddy. Like, "Hey, Buddy, how you doing, Buddy?"
That's what I do with my dog.
Yeah.
Sure, just like, hey, Buddy, how's it going? It's Buddy and Brat for my dogs.
Right.
You can guess which one I favor more.
Yeah.
Because one of them's my sister's dog, and then one of them is who she so graciously left behind when she went to college. And by left behind, I mean she can't bring a dog with her to the dorms or her apartment. Plus, they're brother sister, the two dogs. It's really funny. We picked brother sister dogs that mirror our personalities.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was just really bizarre. But it was pretty funny because just the other day I was like, you know, I'm really glad that, you know, with Gabrielle, when she left for college, she left behind Jazzy because now we're never left without her brattiness.
It rubbed up on the dog.
Jazzy is, she's such a brat, but I love her because she's adorable. Yeah. Animals are great.
Yeah.
Everybody should have
an
an
animal.
animal.
Yeah. Except when they're loud. Like, my mom's dog, he just loves to bark at everything.
That's nice.
And I sleep in late usually, so whenever he starts barking, it always wakes me up. I have to yell at him like, "Shut up!"
It's just, yeah, you're right. Animals are great right up until the point where they get like scent of something or whatever, and they just like have to go off. They're like, now I have to go, but. That's one of the reasons I love Cody. He's the laziest dog ever. And unless he's outside and at the fence, he will not bark at anything. Like, he will not start barking at anything. If he's inside, he'll just like, you know, Jazzy will just be going off and Cody's just like lying there. He's like,
What a good dog. That's a good dog.
He's a great dog. He has we joke, it's like he has his 3 corners in the house that he goes to. He literally will slide in the. Or actually, no. Now it's 4 corners because of we put down some towel. We put down some towels because we had to feed them inside one day because it rained, and rain in Arizona is a miracle. But we
Oh yeah.
we put down towels and then we set down their food dishes on them, so that way they didn't slide them all around the floor like they normally will. And then after we cleared out the food dishes, the dogs just like both were like, okay, these are mine now. Or Cody, anyways, was like, mine now. And he just laid down on the towel. And we're like, all right.
Okay, it's yours.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to. Cody's 90 pounds. He's a big dog. I'm not moving.
Whoa.
I can't move him.
Yeah, better not.
He has
claimed his food.
He's a big dog that has no sense of cornering. So if he's running, you're the one that moves. Because
Oh yeah.
I love my dogs, though.
Timber.
Pets are the best. Like I said, everybody should have a pet.
Yeah, at least one time. That's great.
Whether it's a cat or a bird or, I don't know, a snake.
Oh god, I want a cat. I want a cat so bad. But I'm allergic.
Oh, that sucks. I was going to say,
I
you should get a
know.
cat and name it Blake.
I'm so sad. Every time I see a cat on my desk, I'm just like, oh, I love you.
We actually have a stray cat that we've been feeding for almost 6 years now. She's lived 6 years, and she's a stray cat. But it's like, we're just like home base for her. We call her
Home
Socks.
base.
But I love the story of like how we got Socks, which is like one day it's like, oh, there's this little kitten, because she was a little baby kitten. Oh, there's this kitten outside of our house. Oh, well, she might be gone in a few days. Oh, look, the kitten's still there. Oh, look, the kitten's still there. We should probably feed her. All right, we should give her water. All right, the kitten's still there. What should we should name this kitten? We'll name her Socks. Let's not grow too attached though. And it's like 6 years later, it's like, Socks, don't leave us.
It's a beautiful story.
It is a beautiful story. I love animals. Once again, I love animals. Animals are the best.
Yeah, my cousin actually, same thing. She found like a stray cat at her doorstep, and so she fed it. But then like a couple days later, I was talking to her, and she was like, "I got a rash." I was like, "What?" She's like, "The cat gave me a rash." She had some sort of skin rash from the cat, I guess, and it was just all over her like upper chest area. I was like, "That's
That's unfortunate.
So take care of the cats, but be careful."
Yeah. Don't apparently hold them right up against you.
Yeah, yeah, really.
That might be bad. Actually, before that, we only had one other cat, and it was just the chillest cat ever. Her name was Salza. She just didn't give a fuck. Like, the summary of that cat is just no fucks.
Best cat.
In fact, unfortunately, it caused her tail to be run over when she wouldn't move out of the way of the car that was backing out.
Ooh.
It got her tail set on fire when she put it over an open stove.
Oh my god.
It's, that cat.
That is.
There's only so many fucks that it could give, but also only so many lies that it could give.
That is great. I mean, not great, but
It's a great story. I shoot for the stories. It's like, my favorite dog story that I have is just with Cody, because I was medical reasons. I was stuck at home for a year, and so Cody, I spent a lot of time with my dogs. And my parents both had to work, and so I spent a lot of time with my 2 dogs. And in that time, I came to realize that I don't love them as much as I thought I did, because when you're forced to stay at home with those 2 every single day, you realize just how irritating they are.
Oh,
I'm like,
I know,
man, this must be what it's like with kids.
Yeah.
Like, this must be it.
I'm home usually all day with my dog, my mom's dog, because I didn't find him. And my parents are usually, away at work, so I'm home alone every day with the dog. And, almost every morning he wakes me up with his barking. So,
we had work done on the house. We had like a room put into the house while I was home alone. So it was just like all the people that were there working on the house, and then my dogs. You'd think that they'd figure out that these people mean no harm. They didn't.
Not with those loud noises.
And so I had to put them in my parents' bedroom, but it was just like every single day I had to wake up at a certain time, throw them at my parents' bedroom, like close the door and like keep them stuck in there. And it's just like, but listening to them, I just like occasionally poke my head on my room, shut up, and then close the door again. But my favorite story is Cody's, he's my favorite. I picked out Cody. It's just like, it's just me and Cody. It's like, there's no question that I am the owner. He is my dog. And we just, I love Cody. And there's only ever been really 2 days that I've ever loved Jazzy more than Cody. And it was the same reason for both of those days. I was on the couch and I was just sitting there. I was typing away on my computer doing, I don't know, writing fan fiction or something. And then I just hear like the little sounds of lumbering, and I look up and I see Cody, and I'm just like, "Hi, Cody." He just looks up at me, looks down, what, and then looks back up at me, threw up all over the floor, and I just looked at him and I'm like,
"Oh my god,
I hate you. I hate you with a burning passion." So then I waited to see if Jazzy would eat it, because I have a terrible, I can't really smell that well. And touch doesn't really bother me, but sight I have the worst gag reflex for. If I see something, I will gag a lot. So I got up and I avoided looking at it eventually after I realized Jazzy wouldn't get it, and I grabbed it and I was like, came up and I was like, called my dad. I'm like, "Hey Dad, hypothetically, if Cody threw up all over the floor, how would I go about cleaning this up?" And then he laughed and told me, get some paper towels, wipe it up, and then the disinfectant wipes, etc. And I'm like, okay, I'll do that. I came up and I grabbed paper towels, and I came down to put it on, and I got a little bit close to it. I'm like, ugh, and I had to turn away. I was just like, I started gagging really bad. Like, okay, I can't do this. Like, I can't use paper towels. So I got a real towel, shielded my eyes with it, and then threw it over it, wiped it up, power sprayed the towel down, and then like threw it into the laundry basket, and then used disinfectant wipes. My dad was like, "So how'd you go about cleaning it up?" And I'm like, "In the most inconvenient way possible." But I was going to throw up if I didn't. And then Cody did the same thing again, like a week later. He threw up everywhere again. I'm like, I hate you so much.
Yeah, that's gross. Like, surprisingly, like, not the act of throwing up, but actually, like, just watching someone gag at something actually just is so hilarious to me. Like, I'll see it in videos.
I would have been the funniest person ever that day. Because I was like, I just couldn't make it. I had to back out of that room 4 times before I finally successfully got the towel onto the... I just kept gagging.
I would have cracked up. I don't know why that's so funny to me.
Everybody thinks that story is hilarious, and I do too, like, looking back on it. But at the time, I'm like, this is the worst thing.
That's gross. Yeah, I understand. That's gross.
It's disgusting, but it's my dog, and I love him sometimes.
You love him. Gotta love him.
I love him sometimes.
The good and the bad.
The good and the bad, although, yeah.
And
there's so much good though, because it's like the funny story. One of my favorite things about Cody is that I didn't find him listed as a male. I found him under the female page, and his name was Jade at the time. Yeah, his name was Jade, but my parents wouldn't let me go to the male page because they were like, "No, you can't get a male dog. Like he'll be really aggressive. Like he'll be really really aggressive when we don't want to deal with that." And I'm like, fine. Like I really wanted to get a boy dog because the whole reason I named him Cody is because, well, actually, first of all, my name's not actually Cody. He's not named after me. My username comes from my dog, but my real name is Dylan. So.
Hello, Dylan.
Hello, Dash. Monica. Yes, I remember.
Yes.
It's on your blog. Hey.
Hey.
But it was just my real name is Dylan, and I looked up, and I wanted to get a dog named Cody. This was a while ago because of the show Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, and I thought it would be a funny joke because Dylan Sprouse plays Cody in that show, so I thought it would be a funny joke. And my parents wouldn't let me get a male dog, and then we came up, and they were like, "Yeah, no, I don't know why he was listed under the female page, but she's a boy." And I was just like, and I just was like, "Okay, well, we're here. We've already signed the adoption papers. Thank you for telling us now, because now my parents can't make me give them back." Like I just came up and I'm just like, "No, this is my puppy now. Like this is mine, and I'm naming him Cody." And then my sister picked out his sister, and but so then I had Cody, but they were like, no, we can't do this. Like male dogs are too aggressive. Cody is the biggest sweetheart. He's a big teddy bear. He actually looks like a bear a little bit. He has a bear face, but it's just like he's the biggest teddy bear and like the biggest sweetheart. And his sister's a total aggressive brat. And I'm just like, I take every opportunity to remind them of that. I'm like, man, I'm just like sitting there like, holding Cody. You know, he's just like sitting there being pet, and I'm just like, I'm so
Oh,
glad that you guys were so concerned about getting such an aggressive dog. If I had gotten a male, and just like, oh, he's so big and tough and mean, and he's just sitting there being loved and being loving. And
yeah.
I'm
I
like,
mean, you never know, because
I'm just like, ah, suck it,
actually my
nerds.
dog, yeah, my dog, the one that barks, his name is Tito.
No, that's a great name.
Yeah, and he barks and he's a dog, but like whenever he's not, he's just very chill. Like he's so spoiled. My mom spoils him so bad, and he's just really like a cat,
he's
like a
he's a cat.
just a really hairy cat. Like he'll just lay
He's
everywhere.
a really big and furry cat, basically.
Yeah, he's a Yorkie, so it's pretty small. But yeah,
I love, I don't know. Dogs are my favorite
animal.
animals just because they're so, it's like there's cats who are really, I don't know, they're like the opinionated animal, it
Hmm.
feels. And then
They just have that face,
yeah, and then there's
that resting bitch face.
exactly. But then there's dogs, and it's just like, I don't know. I'm so spoiled. I grew up with dogs, and there's like only ever been one
Yeah,
month
same,
in
same
my
here,
life
same
that I not had a dog in my house, and it was the weirdest month like ever because it's just like it's like a noticeable missing presence, but it's just like having Cody, and it's just like he's so chill all the time. It's like he just doesn't. It's like he has. It's like he's really dumb. He's a big softy, but he's really dumb. And it's
Those are the
that's
best.
always like the thing with him is he just actually a great example of this. My sister, like we were just like sitting there. My sister, I don't know, I think she was making something. She might have been baking something, but Cody was just in the background. He was just staring at us and just looking out there. And I don't remember why, but Gabrielle was just like, "See, Sometimes I wonder maybe Cody's smarter than we give him credit for." And then she just stopped as she realized what she was saying. And I was like, "You realize what you're saying there, huh?" And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, I did." And he's dumb dogs are the best dogs though because they're the sweeter dogs.
Yeah, you want to cuddle them. They're just
And Cody's so cuddleable. He's so big and furry. It's just like you
that's
can just sit there and
great.
hug him.
Yeah.
Dogs are great.